Welcome back to the Roadside Rescue YouTube channel. I'm Ernest, and on today's episode we're going to be looking at a cool old 4Runner. Well, of course I fix all of my neighbor's vehicles, so I'm going to go pick up my neighbor's 4Runner because last night he called me over and said there was a bunch of fluid underneath his truck. I went over there and his power steering rack had leaked out all the fluid, so we're going to replace his rack and pinion today. Hopefully it only takes a couple hours. It's Saturday, which I usually don't work on the weekends, but this next week is supposed to be rainy and snowy, and today's 55 degrees, so of course I'm going to do it today. Let's go pick it up and get going. Okay, there you just saw it drip right there from the little bellow on the inner tie rod there. And this truck actually uses automatic transmission, 𝕮𝑬𝑆 3. I've got 𝕮𝑬𝑆 4 because you can use 4 in place of 3 or 2, since they didn't have any 3 or 2. Or maybe they had 2, but anyways. That's it. She busted a seal inside or something. Hopefully those lines aren't hard to get off. Hopefully nothing's hard to get off. And this is a super simple, nice little quick job. Oh yeah, you look good. Alright, here we go. This video is sponsored by Andanda. I've been wearing Andanda boots for several months now, and they're always super comfortable, but this is by far the most comfortable pair I've got. This is by far the most comfortable pair of work shoes I've ever worn. These are super flexible. They have a strong insole that'll protect from punctures as well if you accidentally step on nails or anything like that. And they also have a composite toe like all their other work boots. Aside from the composite toe, which is sure to protect my toes, always gives me a little bit of peace of mind instead of wearing my Crocs sometimes. But the thing I like most about them are the non-slip soles. That makes them useful in tons of different environments. I've even given a pair of Andanda boots to my brother who works in food service. Andanda sells plenty of protective safety devices. I'll show you some more in a bit. Alright, well here I am ready to start. Here's the rack and pinion. I thought when I looked at it, the tie rod end looked a little different than I was used to because these thread in like a male end on the outer tie rod, and I was used to it being the other way around, so I thought for a minute I'd have to go get an inner. That's fine. Unfortunately, when I thought I would have to just disconnect one of these lines when I bought it last night, those aren't the ones I have to disconnect. Those are just fine because the new one comes with those. There's some lines on the back of this little thing here, but all in all this should be a pretty easy rack and pinion. Especially because the steering yoke comes off super easy right there. So new outer tie rod ends, new rack and pinion, and new fluid. I'm going to start by popping these loose before because it's so much easier to get these lock nuts off while everything's still tight. One of the best investments you can make tool-wise, in my opinion, is just a nice set of these big wrenches that a lot of these big nuts come in, 24, 27, just those common sizes. Is having a nice wrench like this instead of using an adjustable wrench, so nice. Wow, that is stuck. That's my whole body weight. Okay, I think screw the lock nuts, just order some new ones. Because those aren't coming off at all. I'm going to use my new earplugs now since I'm going to be banging on this outer tie rod end. The weather's perfect today. These are noise canceling to 32 decibels. That's the standard for these little foam earplugs. This is 100 earplugs, so 50 pairs. And it's super important to protect your ears. You don't need me to tell you that. So if you want a good deal on some earplugs, check out the link in the description. These buff up fast. That's nice. Alright, well, I'm going to take a quick break, and because there's a lift kit on the vehicle, the angle is so steep on that outer tie rod end that I can't really fit like a pickle fork or anything in there to get it out. So I'm going to go ahead and just get a cutoff wheel on my grinder, cut those outer tie rod ends on both sides, that way I can remove them easily whenever I want to. But I've already got that other side off of the ground and taking the tire off and everything for nothing, so take a break and go ahead and get that done in a second. Earlier, we were already planning on replacing the outer tie rod ends, so I've already got those with me. All right, now I'm going to put this tire back on because it's safer like that. And I started to notice my blade was looking a little see-through on the edge, if you know what I mean. So time to switch that out. Dang. Oh, I usually don't put this puck on that hard. What happened? Alright, now I can worry about the rack and pinion and do that whenever I want to. I've got all the bolts out of that. So now what I need to do is remove the inlet and outlet line right there. Hopefully that's pretty simple. And then it looks like a 13mm or something right there holding that steering wheel to this. Pretty simple after this, hopefully. Just one last little hose right there. Luckily the other hose, I could actually just take the hose clamp off. But this one I have to unscrew the fitting while it's still in there. Not much space. That's a long thread. I'm 100% done with this job already. There's the rack. Man, I'm tired.
Break time, ladies.
All right, nothing crazy there. I got those all back on and tightened down without cross-threading. I love how they mention that so casually in the manual. They're like, don't cross-thread it when you put it back in, but it's so hard not to do. So that went well. Now I've just got to do these outer tie rod ends. Take that one off too. And then I'm gonna have to, the system's already been flushed because it's had a lot of clean fluid pushed through it in the last couple of days, but I do have to vacuum bleed it. Alright, so then I just tightened down the outer tie rod nuts and I bled the system. The footage from that got corrupted. All we have left to do is order those lock nuts and they should be able to put those on easy when they do an alignment. Alright, there we go. Easy peasy. Nice. Alright, I'm taking my coveralls off and return this car. I'm super exhausted. That was supposed to take somewhere near 4 hours, and it definitely took just about that long. My upper body is just worn out. Doing that laying on the ground's always so much harder. One day I'll have a lift. If you want to help me get there sooner, you can donate at the links in the description. Or you can subscribe to help the channel grow. Thanks for watching. Leave this video a thumbs up if you want to see more like it, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bruh, it's the next day. Here's this 4Runner, and just so you know I'm not lying, here's the plastic coverings from the dealership. Let me tell you about it. So dumb. Alright, so when I replaced this rack and pinion the other day, this is like 2 days later, I wasn't able to reuse the locking nuts. They were just super rusty and getting super bent up. So I just told them, hey, you know what? Just order a couple of new locking nuts or call the shop that you're gonna get an alignment at and ask them if they have the same, you know, the right size locking nuts. Just have them slap those on there real quick before they do the alignment. They took it to the dealership and they're gonna charge them $380 to put the lock nuts on. So they said they were gonna have to remove the differential and stuff. I was like, no, dude, they're just trying to rip you off. I don't know why dealerships do that, man. It drives me crazy, but I told them, dude, I can put those on in like 10 minutes, just bring it back over. So I'm gonna do that real quick. So dumb. That's literally all you have to do. Untwist the inner tie rod 13 times. And then you just take this and you put the lock nut on. Jeez, it's not that hard. And let's just put that back together. Just make sure you don't cross thread it. Take your time. And then count that blue or yellow dot, put it back on 13 times. That's 2. 13, that's it. Send her off to the alignment shop. 380 bucks. Like, all right, neighbor, I'll charge you 360 bucks for that. Give you a good deal. Lock her off just because. All right, do the other side the same way. Simple, easy peasy.